How's it going, everybody? Welcome to episode, I want to say 14. Is it 14? I believe so. Episode 14 of the Nick of Time podcast. We have a very special guest for you guys today. But before we get into that, I want to introduce again my one and only co-host, Ms. Georgie. Say what's up to the people.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, do we have a very special guest with us today? We're stationed in Spangdahlem, Germany together. Mr. Tyler Catey.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
I should tell
So glad to be here,
people,
man.
Tell the people a little bit about yourself.
All right, a little bit. I'm gonna keep it short, probably to like under an hour. So, no, I'm kidding. Originally from the Midwest, grew up in Illinois, joined the Air Force, did the regular security forces thing, and then jumped over to K9. Spent like 13 years in, got out after 13, and now I'm kind of back home and living life, man.
Yes. And just to give the people backstory, I think that group we had in Germany, because most people didn't know, like, we had such a tight-knit group when we were there, but it was for the shortest amount of time. And maybe that was like, maybe just maybe that was for the best. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think the short amount of time, I mean, military, we're all used to that, right? So like you build this huge clique up and then everybody goes their separate ways. We had some great times. It was only for like 8 months total with everybody?
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe even less than that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we made the best out of it though.
Yeah. So to give Georgie some backstory, I met Catey. He had been at Spangdahlem for a long time, but I was just, we had missed each other deployment wise. So I met him when I deployed to Kenya. He was there and we were like relieving him. So like we were there and I met him. He was like one of the funniest guys. And when I got back from the deployment, that's when we all came together and became close. But me not knowing him, I don't know if you remember this story, Catey, but do you remember that story when we scared Jamarcus while we were deployed with the Humvee story?
Dude. That's bad.
Got it.
I don't I still feel bad to this day. Maybe just like a little, not really. No, it was epic. Maybe, I'll just leave it at that.
You have to tell it. You have to.
Okay, perfect. All right, I don't know. I'm not in the Air Force anymore, so I don't really care about OPSEC, but here it goes, right? So we're doing, Nick and his team get in the country, and what we do is like a lefty righty, right? So we take them out on patrol, we show them the area, what they're going to be doing, and it was just me, Nick, and our other buddy, Jamarcus. A little backstory on Jamarcus, right? Cool, so super cool dude, right? But man, he can get fired up in a hurry, right? And me and him had been K9 trainers in Spangdahlem, and I deployed first and he followed me. And it was really good to see him. I didn't really know Nick. I didn't know you too well. And it was just one of those things. And we went out on patrol. It was at night. And I was like, hey, Nick. And I was like, hey, let's mess with Holmes, man. So me and him, we acted like there was an IED in the middle of the road. We were doing a perimeter patrol. And I mean, it was him that got out. Because you were driving and I was up in the gunner seat. And this dude, we're like, all right, hey, man, just go get a visual on it. Go check it out. So he gets out of the Humvee. He waddles over there. And, dude, I acted like I had thermals on, I think. And I was like, dude, get back, man. I see something. And he sprints back, his little turtle helmet flopping around, man. And then Nick guns it. Just acts like he goes around it, guns it. And the heart rate was up. My heart rate was up. And I was the one that, like, we planned it. And I'm just, like, nervous. So we finally get to the end and we tell him like, hey man, we're just messing with you. And he didn't take it really well. He was a little hurt.
He was mad.
I didn't know you were like that, Nick. I didn't know that you had that kind of joke in you.
He sold it. He sold it.
Yeah, I came back and I was like, it's a damn pressure plate. I was like, we gotta go. And then he was like, back up. I was like, no, we're driving through it. He was like, what? What are you doing?
Oh, God.
Because that's not what you're supposed to do. Anybody watching, like, that is not the standard practice. If you see
you're not supposed to step on a pressure plate. I thought you were supposed to do it.
Much less drive over it. No.
Yeah, absolutely not. Funny.
And oh, God.
And that was the start of like prank wars. It was just on from there. Like it just did not stop. It did not stop, and it got bad. It got bad. I know your team got bad, and our team it got bad. I remember quick story. We took our Flight Chiefs cat card and we duct taped it to the under the table of the fritz pit, which is where we all ate,
Oh
right?
yeah. The
But we
hangout
duct
spot.
tape, like, dude, there was so much duct tape. I'm telling you, you probably needed like a damn machete to like cut how much tape there was. But we didn't just hide it from him. We like made him go on a scavenger hunt. So it
Oh,
was like,
no.
yeah, he left his cat card in the computer, and I think the
The
beat out
no-go.
controller grabbed it. Yeah, which do not ever leave your cat in a computer, especially in a deployed environment. So
Or
somebody grabbed
anywhere.
it. Yeah, anywhere. And we duct taped it, but we left a note and said, what you're seeking is like due east or whatever, past the flight line, and it was like we had to
Oh.
walk all the way out to the flight line, and
Uh,
then like there was like he went to like the patrol that was out there, and the patrol had a note. You know what I mean? It's like,
no.
so
I
he
bet
was
that
just
made the
going.
night go by fast though. For him.
It did, and it was very interesting just to see what we could canaver. He spent, I think it was a total of 5 hours, so he finally figured it out.
And then you
Yeah.
needed a machete.
Yeah, basically, yeah, because
Perfect.
the multi tool was not cutting it for sure. For sure.
I love it. I love it.
That is funny.
That's a good
Also,
one.
too, Boyd, did you ever do any like intramural sports at
Like
all?
Bruh.
in my
You want me to
in
pull
my
up the
in my life.
Like in the Air Force? Did y'all do like PT
Ah.
in Korea or anything?
Yes. Adams, oh well, you're on mid flight. We had that one LT that was hardcore about soccer, and you know me, like I'm competitive. And so, and I showed up to OSOM with my cleats, and I had bought a really sick pair of all orange Umbros. Like this shit looked clean. Like I kind of looked like a semi-professional. It was like good.
Okay.
Like, oh, she's got the Umbros on. Like, ooh, even though I wasn't really that good, but it was just like a silent flex. And we did like fight PT, and it was so competitive. Like I think ops shut us down because it got bad. Like
people were getting hurt.
people were like their life was on the line out there on the field. Like if you weren't playing, like you're out. Like it was serious. Yeah, and people got hurt.
I always do the reference of it's like people are looking at, they got the scouts there, they're trying to get drafted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Heck yeah, man. You never know. You really don't.
Yeah,
That's
for real.
funny.
I mean, you never know. Like Air Force, like I don't know. Like I was like, you know what? Should I just join like Air Force soccer? Like,
Yeah.
Do it.
could I really be like that? Yeah, could I really be like that bitch that's like, oh yeah, I'm
Well,
security forces, but I play Air Force soccer? Like,
aren't you the Meg the Stallion though? Isn't that your alter ego?
yes,
What does
hotter
that
on the
mean?
field. Just look up Meg the Stallion. That's me.
All right. I'll be on it.
But the reason why I bring that story up, I'm gonna tell like half the story, and you gotta finish the rest, Katie.
Oh,
But
boy.
I'll tell a big portion of it. So obviously in Germany again, right? You have intramural flag football, and I remember the year that Katie was deployed, right? I wasn't, and we had a stacked team. It was like athletes on athletes, right? You had Davis, Keppel, me, Covington. It was just like everybody that could move, and it was an athlete was on this team. And then the following year for intramural flag football, they had all PCS for the most part, and I came back, and and there was just a bunch of influx of like kids out of tech school, and they were the only ones that wanted to play, except for myself and Cornell, right? And Cornell was an athlete too. Shout out to Cornell. Well,
QB1.
yeah. Well, me and Cornell, he was like TDY or something. So it's me and all these kids, right? And I call them kids because not only were they like fresh out of tech school, but they were the most like immature, like
Little.
literally little kids, right?
Straight up. 18.
Yeah.
Can't be any older than that.
Like 5'5",
man.
and full of I don't know, full of I don't even know what
Testosterone.
Not, I wouldn't even say
No.
testosterone.
That's not
No.
That is not it. That was the exact opposite. Bless their heart. They tried. Come on.
Oh man, yeah, no, but they had a lot of heart, and they wanted to be there, so it was fun, right? Well, since Cornell said he couldn't make it, it was last minute. We had PT before work because we work mids, and I'm like, Catey, bro, he's at the gym, and I know Katie's at the gym. I'm like, Catey, bro, I need your help. Please come out here and play football, because first of all, these kids are counting on me, but like I can't do it. Like I was the quarterback, so I can't like do
He's our
it
QB1.
by myself. You know what I mean? Like I can't do. They just like they're just not athletic enough. You know?
Oh damn! He
and
said, "Phone a friend. I need a friend."
Yeah, that's exactly what it
For
was.
real.
And it was kind of cold outside. And Katie's
Freezing.
Like,
it wasn't
man.
kind of cold. Nick, it was
-12.
cold, bro. And let's set the stage here.
Okay.
All right? I've been in the gym for like 2 hours, right? Playing basketball, all sweaty, right? In a cutoff t-shirt. And yeah, you want me to come outside in 30-degree weather and some play some
continue.
football?
Yeah, you gotta continue with this.
Oh, we're gonna go with this. We're gonna roll. Mind you,
Yeah.
nobody, y'all don't know me, but yeah, people who know me, I have bad ankles. Like I wasn't ready. I didn't have a tape job. I had no braces on my ankles.
Oh God!
God forbid I didn't even have cleats. I think I may have stolen from somebody walking up. To be honest, it was
I think
whack,
I had an
but
extra pair or something like that.
something. But like Nick's my boy,
Yeah.
can't let him down. He begged and pleaded. I said no. Finally caved, right? And we get out there, and I forget who we're playing, but there's some stacked people. Like they're athletic. Let's just say that, right? And we just kind of went it with the outlook. We're gonna try our best. All right, we'll see what happens. And like me and Nick, we're competitive. Like we're just like you, Georgie. We're like, we don't like to lose. Why play if you're gonna lose, right? Man, but we went out there, and as intramural sports goes, me and Nick's stat line on flag football that day, it was at least number 5 on Sports Center top 10. Like we killed it.
Exactly.
We went out there.
ESPN 8, the Ocho, okay?
Bro, we even made fucking the Quattro. I mean, that's how good it was. And it was completely unexpected. We hadn't played football together. The chemistry was just natural, you know? I mean, he's throwing dimes. I'm catching stuff I probably shouldn't catch. It was a very fun experience in a game we were never supposed to win. Let's be real.
Yeah. And the funniest part about it, right, was I was always going to him. Everybody knew I was going to him, and he was still like beating his, because he was getting open, right, beating the defense. And the funniest part about it, it was a close game. It's not like we blew anybody out because they were athletic too, but we won last minute, right? And I'm looking. And like me and Katie take a second to like look, and I'm like, dude, how did we pull that off? And all the little kids are like, yay! You know what I mean?
Dude, highlighted
like
their life to that point.
Yeah.
The hell with basic graduation. It was that intramural game on Spangdahlem Air Force Base in Germany that made them men.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
And just imagine, right? Like you have me and Katie, right? We're about the same height. I think he's probably an inch taller than me. And then a bunch of little dudes, right? And then the other team is looking at us like, how did we lose to a freaking dad, right? And then
a dad
with shit ankles.
The worst. They're classified as glass ankles. They're so bad.
Oh God.
You're not supposed to be able to walk on these things without braces, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
God.
Hey, little man, what's up?
Oh, what's up? He say hi. He's like, I don't know what is going on.
He's all freaked out.
Yeah, that was a fun game, man. I'm glad I went out. I'm glad I didn't say no.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad you did too, and it made for a good experience. I think I was who was I talking to the other day? I was talking to Sandoval and I was like, hey man, I need to get you on the freaking podcast too, because
Oh, Sandy. I could go on days about that guy. Hey, real quick, I know we ain't got much time, but like, you remember when I hid in that fool's car while he drove to breakfast? Do you remember that? Oh man, I snuck in this man's car like 20 minutes before he even got in, and he started driving
after work,
right after like a 12-hour shift, right? And as soon as he got in and started driving, I came to the realization that maybe this isn't a good idea. He's driving a vehicle, and if I jump out now, we could hurt people. It could be bad because Sandoval, he's jumpy. Let's just say that. And I waited till he finally parked. We drove, whatever, like a couple miles down to the golf course where we ate. And man, I think he had to have pissed himself. Had to have. He got so scared when I popped out. But yeah, Sandoval,
yeah, we're always doing the absolute most. What about you, Georgie? You ever prank anybody? As far as
I first want to ask, like, would you guys want me on a flag football team?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Bro, okay.
I just met you.
Yeah, my time to shine. I'm out there, like that arm.
Oh, you got it like that?
Nick, you got some competition, bud.
I'm the quarterback now. It's on. I got a nice throw.
Dang. I bet you do.
If I could go outside right now and show y'all my throw, I would. Let's just say I put money on it, and I'm gonna send y'all a video sometime, and y'all gonna want me on your fantasy league. Period.
Oh really?
All right. You gonna bring them soccer cleats? You're more prepared than I did.
I'm stepping on toes. Fuck a flag. I'm stacking your ass. Let's go.
Wow. She goes both ways, defense and a quarterback.
Yep. And I'm a runner. Let's go. And that's what, like, we show up to like PT, after like before work, and the girls are kind of like, oh, like the boys are playing football. I'm just gonna like walk around the track and like talk about like some dumb shit. And I'm like the only female that's like, all right, like who's fucking picking me? Like, let's go. And typically I'm like the last picked if I'm new to the flight, but they learn really quick. They're like, okay, shit, maybe Busby is kind of good at this.
How funny is it that it gets so serious? Like
it gets beyond serious. It gets so serious that it's like it's like everybody is like legit competing for the Olympics, and it gets so serious that every time operations shuts it down. Like we come back to work and the flight team's like, all right, no more flag football for PT, like no more soccer. Like we literally had a girl one time. We were playing soccer, and this was how big it was. Nobody showed up to scheduled PT. Like it would be like, hey, legit, like scheduled PT. Nobody would show up. And then like one day, I think I was on swing, so I showed up to work, and that's all I raved about all shifts was like, y'all, like let's play soccer like after shift, like an hour game, like it'll be good. Like let's just play, like, because we know nobody showed up to PT, and the entire flight plus people who were off showed up. So we already doubled like the amount of people who didn't go for PT. Everybody was like, oh, fuck real PT, like we're about to go play soccer. And everybody showed up, and this girl ended up breaking her whole arm. Damn. She legit broke her whole arm. And it's not because anybody hit her. She fell on the ball.
You didn't do it? You didn't trip her?
No, I didn't do it. But you
didn't sack her ass? I feel like you sacked her ass.
In soccer, no. You can't be, I mean, when the ref's not looking, so you like gotta do a little stuff. But no, it was soccer. We even had people were showing up there with no cleats but wearing like steel-toe boots and shit because they didn't bring a change of clothes. They're like in full uniform. Like it's like almost like what's not mandatory becomes mandatory, and what's mandatory isn't mandatory anymore. Like everyone's like, oh, like if nobody shows up, like fuck it. But it's real. Sure. It's real. People take it serious, and I love it. If flight PT is like soccer, flag football, or whatever have you, and everybody's like kind of vibing together. Like there's you're on the field, and you're like, oh shit, maybe we should like go home. It's like 2 a.m.
Yeah. Well, no, yeah, for sure. I love that. We always did sports for PT when I was in Korea too. Our master loved it. He loves soccer. But
Korea's big on that, right? Like PT
yeah.
and intramural sports.
Yeah,
Like,
dude,
I saw
I played with the Koreans too. Adam, do you remember like they did like a tournament with the Americans and the Koreans?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I like was playing in these like pickup games with like the Koreans, and it was a like co-op, and I grew up playing an all
You
male.
mean co-ed,
indoor-
Georgia, co-ed.
Oh, yeah.
We're not playing Call of Duty, bro. We're not playing
It's
Call
not
of Duty.
okay, not a co-op.
Yes, let's
Co-ed.
go split screen.
Dude, everybody's welcome. Males, females, polys, whatever, pans, purples, it doesn't matter. Like you can play, okay? As long as you have 2 legs, you can play. Just kidding, you can have 1 leg. We don't discriminate. You can have 1 leg. So sorry, please, whoever's watching this, don't EO me, please. Like, but yeah, we were out there and it was gender.
Co-ed, yeah, co-ed.
It was co-ed, so we were out there and it was getting pretty aggressive. You know, you had legit grown men that were like shoving like 18-year-old females, and they're like, "Yo, get the fuck off the field," and you're like,
It's a red flag.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're like, "Where's the flag?" Yeah,
That's a red flag.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, it's a red flag and a red card. Like first officer, your personality a little questionable, and where's the card at? Like, where's the foul? But yeah, it was serious. And the Koreans are so good at soccer. I mean, everybody's good at everything, but they can still do soccer.
Hell yeah. What's it called? Before I get into, I wanted to ask you, Catey, about your transition out of the military and how that's been. Just explain a little bit. But before we do that, since we're telling stories and whatnot, out of my curiosity, I just want to know what you think, because like you said, that small little time frame we had of those months were some good months. What do you think, in your opinion, is your favorite memory of our little clica, our little group that we had before you had to leave us in October?
Oh man,
there was one thing that was just like,
the one thing that sticks out, and it's gonna be super selfish, all right, and I don't care, whatever, right, dude, was the nightclub I rented out for the going away. Do you remember that?
I do. Yes, that was an amazing night.
But there was like, I mean, so many freaking people there. But like our group literally just stayed our group, right? And we just kind of hung out next to the bar and literally did this, like just hung out, told stories, man. It wasn't sad. It was just fun. But there's just so many great memories of us all. I mean, my apartment, right? Who could forget? You know, Nick?
Yes, I do remember that.
Always got to change the clothes for you, my guy. Trevor?
Yeah.
That dude got lost in my apartment. He fell asleep on top of cardboard boxes. Didn't know where he was. Oh man, that just going down to the pubs. Oh
yeah,
so much fun.
But I feel like whenever somebody leaves, I feel like it's like they die.
It's bad.
Like,
it's really bad.
Oh, Katie's leaving next month. Like, oh, rest in peace. Like, he's about to lose his life next month. like, y'all are burying him or something.
Yeah, no, it was like that. It was like that.
Well, it didn't help. Catey lived like, and I wasn't that far either, but Catey literally lived like a block away from like the local pub, like not even a block. I'd say like 30 feet.
Perfect walking distance.
Yeah, and in Germany, like, dude, they stay open till like 7 in the morning, right?
Damn.
6, 7 in the morning. So and it would be our whole group. So we all like took care of each other. And then all we had to do was just go back to Catey's. Well, Trevor Molman, good friend of mine, he's security forces too. I hope he's doing good. If you're listening to this, Trevor, shout out to you.
Miss you, bro.
It was his like second or third week on flight. He hadn't been out with us yet, right? Well, he shows up to Katie's house, right? And then shows up to the bar, and then we all drink whatever. And we all go to Katie. And then when we get to Katie's, me, Catey, and Athena,
Johnny,
it was like a bunch of us, right? It was a bunch of us. We like sat. He opened his door. If you know anything about windows in Germany or windows, they're like big windows. You know, he opened the
Oh.
entire thing, and we sat outside of his house and just waited for the sun to come up, and just like you said, just talked and like we're laughing and just enjoying like a good time, a good night.
It's crazy because you're on the road. Like you can see, you're just watching all the cars go by. Like we're on a ledge. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it opened this massive window to like 20 feet of broken bones, and it was just like no fucks were given at that point. It was just awesome, dude. It was
Yeah.
so much fun.
We all rack out, wake up, right? And there's a knock at the door. And apparently, I guess Trevor, right, the guy that was new to flight at the time, he didn't know where to go, so he went to the basement instead of the room. And it was cold in the basement, so he had cardboard boxes that he was sleeping on. And we were like, Trevor, bro, what happened? He was like, yeah, dude. He was like, I just slept in the basement on some boxes. I was
What
like,
the-
what?
What the fuck?
He was so
And then-
disoriented. He had no idea where he was at. He didn't even know me, to be honest. Like he just showed up to this random dude's party, went out to the bar, came back to this random dude's house, and he just found a spot, man. Just kind of camped out in the basement.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. Shout out to Moment. And he's such a like a hard, not hardcore, but he's such like a get done attitude. He was just like, yeah, it's whatever, stay hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm good. He's like,
Slept
"It's
in a haunted
whatever."
basement. No big deal.
Oh, straight up, yeah. Thank God there were boxes down there. I didn't imagine what if there wasn't.
Are the basements like creepy, like cellars almost?
I didn't have one, Katie. I didn't have one. So.
Mine wasn't bad. It really wasn't. It was just kind of like
Ooh.
just a big storage area. But yeah, it wasn't nothing to sleep on. I'll tell you that. It wasn't homey.
Not
It didn't
comfortable
have
or
a homey
anything.
feel. Yeah, definitely not a homey feel to it. But
Yeah, for sure. So the nitty gritty. Let's talk about this because I think this will help a lot of people, especially those that are, thinking about getting out or coming up on that time. Your decision to get out, be closer to the family, and whatnot, man. Walk us through that, and like, just in your own words and what you feel comfortable with sharing, just like how that process was. What made you finally say, you know what, I'm done. Like I gotta be with the family, et cetera, et cetera.
yeah. So like I said, I did it was up to about 12 years at this point when I was leaving Germany. And I finally decided, my ex-wife and kids moved back to right around here in the Midwest. And I finally decided, hey, kids are right now, they're like 8 and 6, right? Like crucial times in their life. And they don't need dad gone anymore. So I took an extension to get to Vegas because I didn't want to get out from Germany, being that it was overseas. There's a lot of extra stuff to do. I kind of wanted to get like my feet settled stateside. So I just did a year extension. Then I got orders to Vegas, which was awesome. Vegas was great. And it was awesome even being that close to the kids, even though it was like 20 hours away. Like, dude, way better than across the ocean. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
And
for sure.
yeah, honestly, it wasn't a hard decision as everybody would think. And if people are watching that have done it, they kind of understand. I loved the Air Force, treated me well. Security forces was all right. It wasn't bad. I found a lot of passion on the canine side. That would be that in the relationships with people, obviously, but the job itself, the canine, is what I love. I did it for like 9 years. So that was probably the hardest thing to give up, was working with those dogs and the people. But honestly, family trumps everything, man. Blood.
Yeah.
So
For
I got
sure.
out after a year of Vegas, moved back home, and I used that GI Bill that everybody talks about, right? And big advocate. I went to school for working on wind turbines, something new. I like. Yeah, he's excited.
You don't
about it.
like those.
Totally okay.
You don't like them.
No, I'm an adrenaline junkie as it is, and I figured why not climb like 300 feet in the air and fix stuff. So yeah, I went to a year-long school for it, and then got hired on by General Electric here, right? Like literally 10 minutes from my kids. So it's literally the perfect situation.
Those
That's
are
so
scary. Dude,
I know.
I was telling Nick before, wind turbines, like there's something about them, and the fact that
You
you're
got a
like,
bad
oh,
experience with them, or
no, and the only like I passed them like driving across country, and I'm like, wow, those aren't it. And then like even I went up to New York and snowmobiling, and we were lost. Like when I say lost, like we're fucking lost. And next thing you know, like the sun's already kind of setting. It's the perfect like 40 days, 40 nights vibe. Like I'm expecting like anything to pop out now. Like, and we pull up and all they hear is woof, 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 like in the distance, but I like can't see because it's super dark. Like it's starting to get like real dark. And
no.
next you know, I'm riding my snowmobile right next to this massive pole, and I look up and I woo, woo, and I literally almost like passed out.
How much
Dude,
bigger are they in person than what you thought?
10 times bigger. Like how big they are, like the color of the sky and like the scenario. Like I was already half freaking out because it was like, wow, it's like negative 20 degrees and more like lost. And now I'm in this like massive turbine. Like this is not it. And but you're like, but like, yeah, I'm just climbing them casually, like not a big deal. Like,
oh, it's
but,
awesome.
Well, I've always known that they were big because I'm from West Texas, so like it's like I don't think it's the biggest, but it's like one of the biggest. Like not necessarily like in my hometown, but as soon as you drive like 45 minutes out, an hour out, there's turbines everywhere. Like
do they crash? They crash.
They crash.
Rare. It's rare, but it happens. It totally happens.
Yeah.
But
what the...
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
Texas is one of the leading producers of wind power, man.
Yeah,
they're literally. I mean, I think they're probably one or two.
Yeah, I was gonna say they've always been there, and they're just for miles. Like they're everywhere. They're literally everywhere.
Ugh.
So I've always seen them, but yeah. When you mentioned the canine thing, I think Georgie can also relate because she's like kicking ass, like literally from the ground up. Started like an entire different S function with the whole Suez thing, right? Catey was actually Suez.
I was a drone pilot. I still have my wings. I'm good.
Okay, he's in there.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy how like security forces you could like relate to like something you like in it, but like the rest of that stuff like because honestly like I love security, the security aspect to it, but like dude I hate except for community policing, but like actual law enforcement like responding to domestics and like responding to fights and stuff. It just depends who I'm with. But if I'm by myself, I'm like, dude, this is no fun, bro. You know what I mean?
Dude,
like,
that's my vibe. I lived for that. Oh my gosh, it was bad.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like being with you or Sandoval or Lodemar, like yes, but like when it was just like one of those nights, where it's like just us, or you know what I mean? Like it's just like, hey, you have to respond to this, whatever. I don't know. I didn't. I'd have to have the perfect environment or people, the perfect people around me to enjoy law enforcement. Because if I did that like at Randolph, and I was just like with whoever I was with on that flight, like it just wouldn't be the same. You know what I mean? Because we're not like on other guys whenever they're getting ready to go, and they're
you
like,
feel that tingling.
You feel that?
Yes.
Yeah, like
I feel
like that that kind of energy is pretty awesome. Is super awesome. And yeah, man, also too with the whole family thing, I'm sure I want to hear both of y'all's take on this. I forget what movie it is, and I forget that actor's name. He was on War Dogs, not Jonah Hill, the other guy, but he was that drummer. It was a drummer movie. I forget the name of the movie, but I'm paraphrasing this, but there's a scene where he's getting interviewed by like a detective or something like that. And then she asked him like, what's like one of the biggest like lies you've ever told or whatever? And his answer was, it's not that simple. And she goes, what's not that simple? He said, no, that's the biggest lie I was ever told. He's like, and she's like, well, what do you mean? She's like, and then he goes, it is. And she goes, well, what is? It is that simple. And I think in life,
what the fuck?
I know that sounds crazy, but hear me out.
I'm lost.
She's mind blown.
Hear me out. The biggest lie he was ever told, that it's not that simple. And he's telling this woman that it is. That's the best piece of advice he's ever gotten. Because a lot of times we try to say, well, I mean, this and that, X, Y, Z, this is the reason why I'm doing this and I can't do that, or this, et cetera, et cetera. When it's just like as simple as I love my kids, I'm gonna be there for them, like physically there for them.
That's it.
It doesn't matter where I'm at, what I'm working on, how much money I'm making, I gotta be there. But a lot of times, and that's like one example and a very like easy example. But I think in life with everything, right? It doesn't have to be just children. We try to like think like, oh, I can't do this because XYZ, or I should probably just stay where I'm at because XYZ, whatever the case. And like, dude, life is very binary, you know, and simple. That's what I'm getting at. But we try to make things more complicated than what they are. Do you agree or disagree?
Georgie, go.
I agree. Like, you want to talk about making things complicated? I'm your girl. Like, I'm it. Like, it's not Georgie, it's not Geo Busby, it's Geo Complicated Busby. Like, anxiety and making things complicated is my fucking name. Like, you ask me a question, okay, well, what does this mean? And it's over. It's over.
Yeah.
Nothing is simple with me, because it's like I tend to everybody who knows me, and I definitely know my section chief is gonna watch this because they found out our podcast today, Nick. So rest in peace. I got roasted all day long today about it. So sir, I know you're watching. I'm complicated, and we all know that. Like you tell me, explain something, and I over explain in fear that you didn't. That like I'd rather give like more than give less, and then leave room for like wrong interpretation or like misinterpretation. And like in life, it's the same thing. Like always going above and beyond, or definitely what's not needed. And in turn, I stress myself out, or I overwork myself just because I didn't want that gray area of you missing the point on something that I think is super important. You're like, yo, who fucking cares? Like, it's not really that important. But I'm like, oh my God, like so important. Like, you have to understand this. And it's really simple like that.
Well, one reason why too, Catey, do you remember Rob Robinson? He was on Alpha Flight. Well, I was talking to him the other day because we're still pretty close. We were just talking about relationships and trying to keep healthy ones, whether that's friends, romantic, whatever the case, and just how we can improve on being better men in general. And he was talking about like you know, like ghosting, right? When somebody ghosts you or you ghost somebody, whatever the case may be, and there's like no closure or there's no explanation. It doesn't matter, both sides of the coin, right? And I was like, I'm tying it to how life is simple. We just make it complicated. And I was telling him, I was like, anytime that happens, whether it's on your side, you're ghosting somebody or you're being ghosted, I was like, it just wasn't there, right? And I'm not advocating for that. I think you should let somebody know, like, hey, this is not gonna work out, whatever the case. Because honesty is always the best policy. But right, if you don't get that closure as humans, like Georgie said with overthinking, we try to be like, well, could it have worked, or could it have done this, or what if, or what? And like, dude, you got the closure you needed. Because in simple life terms, this person didn't respect you enough, care about you enough to let you know, hey, like this isn't working out. But
you don't need them in your life.
Yeah, but we try to overcomplicate it and be like, well, maybe, you know, like, but like, no, dude, like no message is a message. You know what I mean? And or no phone call is a message. But we try to overcomplicate it because we didn't get closure, or we're trying to, you know what I mean? And your brain tries to like,
bro, I got the perfect story for this, right?
Go ahead.
So on the subject of like overcomplicating things, and like life is just way too simple, everybody just doesn't understand, right? So what really resonated with me, and I really, you know, I heard that, I can't remember where I heard it. It was either I read it in a book or heard it in a movie, but it was a horse and a child walking through the woods at night. Sounds like the beginning of a great joke, right? So and it's getting really dark out, kind of like Georgie on the snowmobile, right? Getting kind of
Yeah.
don't know what's going on. You see, full circle. And the boy turns to the horse, and he looks at him. And he's like, "I don't think we're gonna make it home." And the horse kind of understands. The kid's a little scared, and he turns down to him, and he said, "Well, can you see your next step?" And the kid's like, "Well, yeah, I can see that." He's like, "That's the only thing you need to concentrate on. Everything else, you're gonna find your way. Just focus on that next step. You don't need to overcomplicate your life and think about everything at once. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just focus on that one little simple step, right? And you're gonna be fine. Everything's
Bro,
gonna be
I
good.
feel motivated. I feel motivated as shit
Right?
right now. Like, my life changed. My life changed.
I don't know. It's
Yeah,
not mine. I didn't come
yeah.
up with it, but it's something that really resonated with me. I think a lot of people could benefit from that for sure.
And
Yeah.
that's what being in the moment, right? Because what do we do a lot of times? One, we're either looking back at the past and thinking what was, or we're either looking at the future and trying to control what will be, right? Instead of just being present in the moment. And I find myself really trying to do that with like the smallest things. Obviously, there's big things like kids, husband, wife, family, et cetera, friends. But there's also small things like the other day, I walked outside for work, and it was a snowstorm. I'm sure y'all kind of got it too this weekend. Well, yesterday the sun had came out, and I just like closed my eyes and just like kind of just like stood there, took a deep breath, and I was like, oh, thank God. Because I hate cold weather. Like, I know some people love it, but I'm just not a cold weather person. But like, instead of just like, oh, finally, like the day's over, let me hop in my truck, drive to the gym. Like, I was there. You know what I mean? And a lot of times we're just like, go, 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 go. Like, I was actually there with myself. And that's important. I don't think we do that enough.
Yeah. No, that makes complete sense.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, we're at what, 47 minutes. I don't want to keep anybody too long. I wanted to keep this under an hour. So we'll start with our little closing questions. We kind of ask everybody this every podcast. You're sitting at a dinner table, 4 people, dead or alive. Who are you inviting to your dinner table?
Dead or alive, 4 people, right? Dead or alive. All right, man. I'm a big sports fan, so I'm gonna go Aaron Rodgers on one. Okay. And I know that's bad, right?
COVID.
But I need to know. I need to know if he's coming back. So that's like the main priority. I'd probably go with probably my grandpa Hill, to be completely honest. He's my mom's dad. He had 9 kids. He grew up with like kind of a rough life. He was a hobo, like a real life hobo, right? Like on trains, and then came back and started raising this amazing family. Like, I just want to pick his brain more because I was real little when he passed. I got 2 more.
Yeah, 2 more.
2 more. Gosh, dead or alive?
To be fair, why you think Georgie chose her grandparents too?
Solid. There we go. Yeah. Great minds, Georgie. Let me tell you. I would like to sit down with, like, I know it sounds weird, like Leonardo DiCaprio, right? If you guys watch him and like what he advocates for, like his causes and stuff, it's pretty unique and interesting. I think I'd get along with him and have a good conversation with him. Last one. What would it be? Dude, those are 3 solid ones for me. I only got 3.
Well, then you can have the Nick of Time podcast host on there, and we'll be a little package deal.
And Georgie.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah. It's like kickball. You can't just pick one. Like, we're a deal. We can't separate.
A combo set.
For
got
sure.
It.
Speaking of this, before I forget, you brought up A-Rod, right? Aaron Rodgers. You you never got that tattoo, right? Dude, we had a fantasy. You
know what it is? Right? You remember what it was?
It was Ace Boogie, right?
And the Cat Pack.
So him
Oh no.
and another guy on our flight, Johnny. We were all on the fantasy, right? And he got second. He was like tied for first for a long time.
It was
And
so close.
they shook on getting tattoos like of their choosing. And Katie lost. And he didn't get the tattoo, but that's okay. I still love you, man.
What?
We should do it live on the podcast.
We should.
Dude,
I'm in.
that'd be
I'm all game for tattoos. The timing was never right.
No.
I'm getting it.
You know what
I'm
tattoo
done.
I want to get? I've been wanting to do the Gucci Mane, the ice cream tattoo.
The ice cream.
I'm getting that on me, serious.
On your face?
No, oh my God, not on my face. I don't think. Can you be in the military and still have tattoos?
Did you hear that, Chief? She wants it on her face.
Stop, because I'm literally gonna get harassed tomorrow about this, and they'll be like, "Buzzy, where's your tattoo?"
Oh,
But no, I'm definitely gonna get it. Probably not in the most appropriate place, but I'm gonna get it. Not online. I'm not doing it on the podcast, but
Hell yeah. And yeah, just to wrap it up, there's two more things I got for you. One, who would you like to see Catey on the podcast next? If there's anybody you could think of.
oh man, dude, Sandoval. Sandoval's gotta be
Already.
there, man. He's yeah, solid dude. Adrian Sandoval.
Already.
Man.
Sandoval, you hear that? You're next, man.
I called
And
out, bud.
what that means is you gotta hit him up. Obviously, I've already hit him up, but that means every time I ask that question, the guest that's on now has to help me get the next guest.
I got
so
you.
we can get them locked in.
I'll
And then
give
the
him an
last
order. That's the only thing that kid knows how. He just knows how to follow orders, man. Like a robot. I got you.
Exactly. And the last thing, it could be inspirational, it could be funny, it could be a memory, it could be whatever you want it to be. If there's anything out there you would want all the people to know, what would it be?
Oh my gosh. Dude, I think I'm gonna stick with the kind of theme that we kind of ended on, like the heartfelt subject of just keeping it simple. Like
Keeping it
nothing in
simple.
life is that important to just get so consumed with the stress. That's another thing, man. When you overthink things, the stress that it causes you, your body, like mentally, physically, and all that, that shit ain't worth it. So break things down, keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Georgie, did you know this? What did they say in like psychology? It's like when it comes to like stress, or is it stress? No, when it comes to being ignored, which you can relate this to stress and stuff like that. But when it comes to being ignored, it's like the physical pain of like getting hit or something like that. Don't quote me on that, guys. But have y'all seen that before?
no.
I'm dead serious. Hold on.
No.
Give me just a second, because I gotta.
He's gonna look it up. He's gonna look it up.
Jamie, can you pull that up for me real quick? That's funny. Hold on. Psychology.
While he's doing that, I'm taking a photo for our story. I took one earlier, but I got it kind of. Oh, guys.
Getting ignored. It's gonna blow y'all's mind. This is how important this is, because I don't think people realize it.
I'm all about new facts.
Well, every time I get stressed, I feel like I have what is it, like symptoms of being pregnant. I might as well have been pregnant like 80,000 times in my life. Like sick to my stomach, morning sickness. Like I'm a wreck.
That's not good.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's avoid that.
I know when I got out of the military, and if I'm not holding a job like that, I like can't do drugs on.
Dang, I don't know if I can find it. Maybe I saw it on.
Can you smoke weed working on wind turbines?
No, no, you can't. It kind of affects the balance, and you kind of need a little bit of it.
Bro, okay, so when you guys go up there, like, is there a chance, like, do people fall off regularly?
So you can fall over the edge, but we're all like in harnesses and stuff, right? But like you're still falling around like 20 feet. So it's still gonna hurt, but then you just have to get lower to the ground. But I've never seen it.
Oh,
If that makes you feel any better.
I want to see one
it's
like
rare.
crash. I want to see one crash in person.
Yeah, that would be. You might want to stand a little bit further away than you were with your snowmobile.
Like,
But like, yeah, I kind of do too. Is that bad? I don't know if I can say that, but yeah, I would like to see one. Maybe like one getting demoed. You know what I'm
well,
saying?
yeah, you
So-
see them on YouTube, and it's like mind blowing.
Crazy.
All right, Nick,
So-
let's hear it. Let's hear
I
it. If you
found
get hit,
So according to the study of psychology, right, getting ignored by a person triggers the same centers in your brain as the physical pain of being hit. So not like on your body the pain, but the sensories they're all the same. So like
Wow.
that's why like when people get like so depressed or the anxiety so high, like it actually hurts because all those sensories are like the same, which is crazy.
they're
So-
standing in there. They said, "Ignore me or not, I'm gonna do it. Ignore me, ignore me."
Yeah,
There's a lot of
so
people
again,
getting beat up right now that don't need to be.
Yeah. And if you are one of those people, go get help, man. Today was actually one of my first therapy sessions I've ever done. While being in the military, it was
Get it.
life-changing experience. I recommend anybody that's going through it or having issues, just seek out help if you ever need it. That's what friends are for. That's what professionals are for. If you're ever going through it, you know what I mean, hit up the Nick of Time podcast. Maybe we can help you out.
Hey,
Yeah.
there you go. Use your resources. Absolutely.
Highly
Exactly.
recommend. Highly recommend Military One Source.
Yes,
Not a lot
if
of
you
people
are in,
know. Yeah.
if you are in the military, I believe they can provide free sessions for you too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah. So we're gonna end it with that. It was a good podcast. I love you guys. Y'all are awesome. Stay awesome. Y'all are two of the funniest people I know. Georgie, you got anything for the people?
Nope. Just keep vibing. Don't stress.
There you go.
Don't
Don't
stress.
stress.
Don't stress. And hopefully one of these days, Matt, I can meet little man. He seems
Heck
like an
yeah,
awesome
dude.
kid. And
He just started walking, man. You better get here soon. He's gonna be off to college. No time.
I would love to. I'm gonna be in the stands cheering when he's playing whatever sport he ends up playing. Hopefully
Could be
it's
anything.
yeah, baseball, golf. Hopefully it's something that makes money where his brain is still intact, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Well, hey, thanks for having me on, y'all. This was awesome. Great experience. Y'all are killing it as always. It was awesome.
We appreciate you and we appreciate all of the support. Thank you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe or not. That's totally cool. We're here for you guys. Thank y'all again. Hey, y'all take care. Have a nice night. Deuce, deuce.
Done and done.